RCPD Major Scott Hajek is here to join us from the Riley County Police Department to talk about Fake Patty's Day and public safety.
Thanks, Meredith, and thanks, Major Hajek, for joining us.
You're welcome.
How is RCPD handling fake patties differently this year than years in the past?
So what we've seen over the past few years, especially since COVID, when Fake Patty's Day kind of went away for a year, was a ramping up of participants each year. We've seen that the past couple of years, and that's led us this year to essentially having an all-hands-on-deck approach with our officers being available for calls for service. We see a very large spike in calls for service on this weekend typically, and we're seeing it ramp back up again.
That makes sense. And what's the biggest safety advice for college students celebrating this weekend?
So if I could give them any advice, it would be to act responsibly. What we've seen through years of doing these events is that people tend to act as if there are no consequences on this day, but there are. And so what happens is people tend to drink much heavier, much earlier in the day than maybe they typically would, and that leads to bad decisions later on or being in unsafe situations. So have a plan, be with a group of friends, stay with that group of friends, and just make sure you are acting responsibly and staying safe that way.
That's great advice. And for residents and visitors not taking part, how should they prepare for things like traffic and large crowds?
So they will see in the neighborhoods where we have large gatherings of Fake Patty's Day participants, there will be a large officer presence on foot in those neighborhoods. So residents can feel free to come out and talk to us, to wave us down if they have a problem with people in their yards. That is one of the big complaints we have each year, is people trespassing in yards that people aren't having a party at, and they don't want people damaging their fences and doing things like that. So they can feel free to wave us down. We'll be sure to help them out. And same thing with the people who are having parties. If they have more people in their yard than they can handle and they want the people to leave, flag us down and we will help them out with that as well. We're there to help keep everyone safe.
Thank you so much, Major Hajek. That's all the time we have for today. Back to you, Meredith.
Coming up, we'll have a look at the weather for this week and how the warmer weather has a positive effect on students mentally and academically.